Morning people, morning YouTube. Now then, going to do a quick video on the UK prepping scene and what is going on. Nothing drastic. Just bringing you up to date with events, meets, etc. that are going on that you may or may not be aware of. So, we are in the unusual position this year of having 4 events, shows, call it what you will, to go to if you so wish. Now then, one of those is happening twice. So then, that gives us technically 3. So if I start with the newest of them, so what's going on? Now then, the Bushcraft Show, which is a well-known, well-established, well-organised event, have decided to have another go at what they call the Preppers Corner. They've tried this in the past to a varying level of success, but they've decided to come back at it and give it another go. So my understanding is they have asked originally Darren Funky Prepper to host it. He was unable to do so for whatever reasons, and then they've turned around and asked Tom, the Prepared Pathfinder, if he wouldn't mind hosting it instead. So Tom has said yes, and then Tom has squared it away. So the event is now going to happen, which, any way you look at it, is a win for the prepping community here in the UK, because it is inside a massive event. So, you know, that's good any way you look at it. Now then, if you want information on that, Tom will have it on his YouTube, on his Instagram, and on his website for his outdoor training stuff that he runs. I also believe Lee from the Bug Out, who is attending, will have information on it on his website. So go check those 2 out. And also the Bushcraft Show themselves have a massive website, so you can find information about that on any of those. So there's that. Now, moving on to the others. So as mentioned previously, Darren Funky Prepper, who most of us here in the UK know, hosts the Prepper Meet, and for years that was like the only thing prepper related here in the UK. Now, that used to take place at Church Farm until he moved and relocated to Wales. There was a bit of a gap in the event whilst he tried to find a location to host it at, so he found it last year, had the first meet, which I attended, taking place in Brecon. So Darren has decided to do 2 meets this year. Now, back in the day when he was at Church Farm, a lot of us told him he needed to do 2. So for whatever reason, this year Darren's doing 2. So fair play to you, mate. Hope it works out, because that is just going to be a win-win if it's 2 in a year. Now then, any information on that you can find on Darren's Instagram and his YouTube, etc., because I don't know if his website is up and running yet. Now then, that's 3. The 4th event is what is known as the Alternative Prepper Meet, and that is being hosted by the Painters. I hope I am saying that right. Now then, that is taking place at the old Church Farm site where the Prepper Meet originally started back in the day when it was Armoured Pete and Darren. And what's happening there is the Painters have decided to keep that venue going for the prepping community because it's well known and well established. Makes sense if you think about it. And that also means that people from that side of the UK know where it is anyway. So we're talking Norfolk, Suffolk, Bedfordshire, Cambridgeshire, Hertfordshire, kind of, you know, Essex, London, etc., who used to attend the old one but can't make the Wales Brecon site because of the distance and the logistics, etc., have still got that venue to go to. So I've never been to that one, but hopefully I might. Now then, information on that can be found on the Church Farmer website, and also Chris, UK Prepperman, has done 2 videos on behalf of the Painters explaining the situation for booking and what to kind of expect if you're new to the prepping scene and wish to go to it. So watch those videos and check out his Instagram. and also, if you wish, go onto the Church Farm website. Now then, that's 4 events. That's good. Now then, what's the rest of the video on? So, whilst I was sitting at home watching YouTube down on the big TV, it came up with, do you wish to watch these videos again? So I was scrolling through them like you do, and I thought, oh, that one, I haven't watched that in a while. So that was a video that was now 8 months old, and I was really like, is it really that long ago? Oh my God. So the video in question is the one that Tom, Prepared Pathfinder, and Stuart, aka Outdoor Basics, did concerning 5 useful tips for preppers. If you haven't seen that video, go and watch it. Just go into Tom's video list, you will find it. And the video itself is just solid, useful, straightforward, no nonsense information for preppers, etc. Now then, Tom had made a mnemonic, which is an army thing from back in the day, and it's basically take a letter and then have it spell and mean whatever. So the word is F-snap, and then Tom and Stuart sit down and break these letters down individually and go into explaining what they are. I will let you watch the video instead of telling the whole 9 yards. Now then, the letter that stuck in my mind was the N. Now that was to do with networking, basically communicating with other like-minded preppers, etc. So very useful skill to have. Unfortunately, something here in the UK that we are not much good at. A few of us can do it, but let's be basically honest, a majority of the prepping community here in the UK can't. Don't know why, they just seem to be a bit shy and a bit reserved. Now then, we need to kind of get rid of that so we can all help each other out. So if we take the networking principle and look at it where it really does work, we have to cross over the pond and look at our American cousins in whatever you want to look at, whether that is the bushcraft community, the prepping community, the survivalist community, and the other kind of communities that are going on at the minute, because they all use the networking idea and have massive results with it. All you've got to do is look on their YouTube channels, their Instagram feeds, and any other social media platforms that they choose to use, and you can see those results easily. Come to this side of the pond, it's not so good. Why is that? Well, here's the thing. If you are going to be attending any of those meets, events that I've just previously mentioned in the beginning of this video, you could possibly start networking there, and you wouldn't be using the internet. You'd be using the old-fashioned method of going up and starting a conversation after you've introduced yourself and explaining ideas and things that you wish to do. Hopefully to like-minded preppers who are going to think, yeah, actually that's a good idea, let's do something about it. There you go. Now then, using the internet is also useful, but we have to look at it from the point of, is it always going to be there? Now then, if anything happens, we know full well what the powers that be in this country are going to do. They are going to do possibly 2 things. They are going to restrict your internet access, and then you are going to be slightly worse off, or they will most likely pull the internet access totally and just shut it down. Then you really will not be able to network with like-minded preppers, etc., and try and sort stuff out, and you really will be up that creek without a paddle. So then, surely that's got to motivate you as a prepper here in the UK to start thinking, yeah, actually, he's got a point. Let's start getting around that, right? Doesn't have to be anything flash. We can start grassroots, very small, 2, 3, 4 people. Just get out, do some training. Chinese Parliament it amongst yourselves, discuss what you want to train on, what you think your weaknesses are, and stuff like that. Right? Because any training we can do now is going to be beneficial than doing no training whatsoever and leaving it to lastminute.com to find out all that gear you've got doesn't work at all. So just a suggestion for you to mull over, people. Now then, lastly, does anybody know actually how many people turned up to the very first prepper meet at Church Farm back in the day? Any comments, suggestions, etc., leave it in the comments for this video. They will be gladly appreciated. Right, let's just get some traction on this and just see what we can do as a community to help each other out. So anyway, enough of me waffling. Mitch